I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mayor Caucus is excused.
I didn't excuse him.
Somebody did. Ms. Pastor,
Here.
Ms. Kelly,
Here.
Mr. Burrows is excused. Mr. Shapiro,
Here.
Mr. Murray,
Here.
Mr. White,
Here.
Mr. Long,
Here.
Mr. Basor,
Here.
Ms. Straley,
Here.
and also President Chief Simmons.
Here.
Chief, okay. Public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act has been given by the clerk in the following manner. Posted on the bulletin board in the Borough Clerk's office on January 8th, 2025, and emailed to the Retrospect and the Courier Post on January 8th, 2025. We have an ordinance 2509. This is open to the public, so if anybody wishes to discuss this, please come to the front here, microphone, thank you. Come to the microphone and state your name and your, and the town that you live in.
Council President,
Yes.
need a motion to open for public hearing.
We're going to make a motion to open. Who's going to make that first motion?
I'll make.
Who's going to make the second? Ed? Okay. Richie and Ed. All right, so this is open to the public, so if anybody wishes to come up and discuss this ordinance, and only this ordinance. No one wishing to come to the front? Okay, so let's make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make that motion to close.
I'll second.
Okay, can I have a motion to adopt this ordinance?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, okay. Roll call?
Ms. Pastor,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro,
Yes.
Mr. Murray,
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
And I also aye.
We have some resolutions, a couple of resolutions. Resolution 25-135, authorizing property maintenance liens. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Ms. Pastor,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro,
Yes.
Mr. Murray,
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 25-136, to amend the order to implement a municipal-wide reevaluation for the borough and to issue an order to authorize an in-house reassessment. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. And roll call, please.
Ms. Pastor,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro,
Yes.
Mr. Murray,
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
And I also aye.
Okay, I have some committee reports. Finance, Andy.
Yes, I'm going to hold my report till next week.
Okay. Public safety, Eleanor.
Well, I just want to mention a couple of things. As you know, I'm the Green Team Secretary, and I was asked by our president of the Green Team to put this in everyone's mailbox. So please, when you go to your mailbox, review it. It is the bicycle and pedestrian audit prepared by Cross County Connection. And prior to putting this in your mailbox, I also put it on an email for the recommendations that the Green Team wants to have council approve based on this audit. So it's important that you read it, it's important that you look at my emails, and we'll be using Mark as part of those recommendations. We'll be using the engineers.
Okay. Sounds good.
And it's back to school night on September 2nd from 5:30 to 7:30 or 8 o'clock. And the Women's Club will have a table. And that is also our council meeting.
That's our council meeting.
So
can run over it if we have a short, brief council, and it looks like we might, so.
Okay, that's my report. I'll defer to my council report for the rest of my report, because it's always long.
All right, thank you, Eleanor. The next is me, public events, and I'm going to hold my report till next week. And engineering, Bob is away. Public works and construction, Ed?
I'll hold off to council meeting report.
Okay, how about Richie, Parks and Rec?
Same thing, next week.
Dan, solicitors report?
Nothing at this time.
Okay, engineer, Mark?
No, today's my
Proceed.
today's my first day back from vacation, so I do not have a written report for you, so I will get that to you by next week and report at council.
Thank you. And Harry, I believe, is away. Am I correct?
Yeah, Harry.
Okay. Is there anything that you need to report?
Yeah, everything's going pretty good with public works right now. Yeah, they're maintaining, getting ready for fall. Everything's going
The next is payment of bills. Do I have a motion to pay the bills?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Roll call?
Ms. Passia?
Yes.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes,
Mr. Shapiro?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. White?
yes.
And I yes.
Pay those bills. Okay, next is good and welfare. Can we open the meeting to good and welfare, be open to the public? Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, the meeting for good and welfare is open to the public. If you wish to speak, please come up to the microphone.
Maria Panzarella, Runnemede, New Jersey. I have two concerns, both concerning what seems to be homeless people in Runnemede. At Harry Williams, where I am, most weeks, 6 out of 7 days, it has become disturbingly a problem. During daylight hours, when children are entering the building, they're not well people. They should not be present in a place where so many children are accessing. And I understand that certain things are inhumane, but we have to find a humane way of controlling where they are. I know that other towns have ordinances, and I think we somehow have to come to some understanding, agreement, or policy that our law enforcement can do something about it. It's bad.
Chief, do we have any policy or anything in regards to
Hold
that?
on, before you answer that, because the second issue pertains to this as well. I volunteered for the RYAA soccer camp at Green Acres, which involved 80 children going to the bathroom during any given moment. So I became the bathroom attendee. So I would take 2 children to the bathroom at a time. I would stand outside the door because obviously I'm not going to enter the boys' rooms. One little girl came out and said, "Maria, a dog just growled at me." And I thought she was kidding until I opened the door. And there's a homeless lady with her dog in the bathroom at Green Acres. Now, I don't know if any of you have heard, but when I call Central, they can't hear me. So I resort to calling one of the officers. Myself and Sergeant Corcoran's wife happened to be there. She called her husband, who was clearly busy. I called Chuck Burns, who was clearly busy. Brian Murray, thankfully, had just come the roundabout. And I screamed, "Brian Murray can hear me, but Central can't. I need you. At this point, I had already called Harry. Like, somebody look at cameras, somebody help. Because there's a dog. I walked into the bathroom, growling at me. So Brian got out of his car. He called Central, told him where he was. Got out of his car. The dog, who the woman claimed was friendly, snaps at Brian. Like plain, it's on camera everywhere. It was horrific to watch, and it happened in the presence of kids. Now the woman's saying the dog is friendly. The dog now snaps at 2 kids.
Was the dog on a chain?
The dog got off the chain. So she wrangles the dog, somehow gets it back on the chain, thankfully, and walks down to the apartment with the dog. So I was like, lady, whoa, 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 turn around, go anywhere else in the park, except for where there are kids. So I apologize, you can answer it, but again, it's in places where we have children constantly.
Chief?
I mean, we move him along as best as we can, trust me. We're gonna charge him, we're gonna bring him to Brian. Did Brian handle the situation?
He did.
Has she been back?
She was back. She stayed during soccer camp because Captain Burns actually called me each day I was there afterwards, asking if she was there. I said yes. She was staying at the entrance, closest to like the bridge entrance, Clover, whatever it is. Yeah.
Was she still with the dog?
Yes, she has bags and a dog and moving them along. I mean, the day Police Academy was leaving for the field trip, Brian came, sorry to keep bringing him up, but Officer Murray came to like say hello to the kids because she's usually a part of it. They all get on the bus, guy gets out of his car from the apartment, walks over. So here Brian walks over to the RY fields and I'm thinking, wow, I didn't see him pick up his radio. Is anybody gonna know? I don't know what's going on. So I wait in my car. He comes back. I said, sorry, just wanted to wait to make sure it's safe. He said, yeah, there's a homeless guy sleeping by in the shed. Just wanted to try, to move him along. But they're definitely storing their stuff around the RY. And I can 1,000%.
Okay,
So,
we'll work on this quickly. Thank you, Maria. Hi, how are you?
Mark Jones,
Hi, Mark.
Runnemede. Sorry to be ahead. So I'll be back to council to represent this issue. At the last caucus meeting, you guys were discussing the email that I had sent regarding Confederate flag issues in our parade. So I wrote some things down to discuss with you guys. But firstly, I would like to address the fact that I emailed that to everybody in council, not just Richard. I put it to where we add comments to our township. The fact that something like that could be said, and I'm not getting a response from anybody, for the first part, spoke volumes to me as a black man living in this township, paying taxes, because I know usually that's the way to get people to pay attention to you, right? But either way, so on the July 4th parade, which I participated in RY, I'm a coach, I'm a soccer commissioner. Me and my kids walk in that parade every year. As I'm walking back, I see the car with the Confederate flag, which to me would be okay that somebody missed it, except if I had a swastika on my t-shirt and attempted to walk in this parade, we would all know immediately not to let me walk. So that was insult enough to seize the vehicle. But then I hear you guys speaking about it last month, and the confusion in everybody's voices about why this was a problem makes me question, how could you possibly be representing me as a black man paying taxes in this town, in this borough? And I contribute in this borough. I volunteer a ton of my time in this borough for people to represent me to sit at a table and question, why is it problematic? Why would somebody have an issue with the Confederate flag flying in our parade? So let me explain why I have an issue with it. That parade celebrates July 4th, 1776. The Confederacy did not even exist until 1860. So why would that be a part of a July 4th parade? Which part of our independence is the Confederacy? And if you, as all white folks here, don't see a problem with that, then again, I'm questioning how you're representing the black folk, which is a growing community in Runnemede in our day-to-day lives. If you're friends or whoever it is that has the vehicle, I don't know, somebody flies it in their house, I can care less. That's their personal property, they own that land, do whatever you want with that space. But not in the parade where my kids are walking, not where I'm walking, not when I'm volunteering, coaching, probably the person who's car is grandkids or a child. Not when I go to the school and volunteer my time to talk to some of the kids when they're having trouble in school and fighting and bumping each other up. It's completely not acceptable. So, I'm sorry that I'm gonna take a lot of your time with this.
That's fine.
So the Confederacy was where the Ku Klux Klan started, for those who don't know. And in my email, I voiced the fact of how dangerous it is to me and my children to allow that to happen in a parade field. If you're not aware of what the Ku Klux Klan was responsible for, genocide of black people in America. That happened here. We don't get to ignore that because those are our friends or our cousins. It's just not okay. Now, excuse me, sorry. So, our Ku Klux Klan was responsible for laws like Jim Crow laws, right? We've had covenants in Runnemede that prevented the sales of houses to Negroes in this very town. And if those covenants existed 50 years ago, somebody's family whose kids are still in this school district lived there, and that still represents them. So let me tell you some of the things my kids have heard in this town. Go back and tell your family to pick my cotton. Goddamn nigga. Oh, you're darker than chocolate. You look like a monkey. All things that they're kids, so I don't go around screaming at parents or raising hell about this racist town. But now I'm concerned that it actually is racist because we allowed racism to breed in this town. The fact that that was in our parade for years before this year should literally disqualify anybody who's been a part of it. Because you haven't represented a black person in this town prior to me coming up here and saying something now. I also never heard anybody here say, it won't happen again. Which was literally the simple response. Our mistake, we made a mistake, I'm sorry, that can't happen again. We all agree on that. But we don't agree on that. I would say you should resign, but that's pretty strong words, but if you can't agree, without me saying, as somebody living here, that that can't happen ever again, then you're not representative. You're absolutely not representative. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you, Mark.
Hello, I'm Sam Larm from Runnemede, New Jersey, and the Vice President of the RYAA. We are going to put this in an email. We thought Mr. Caucus was going to be here tonight, but we did receive the proposal regarding what we thought was regarding the field house, but it looks like it also includes the field house, the fields, everything like that. We got that on July 29th. So the executive board did take a look at it. We did agree we're not going to go ahead and sign that agreement. We did look at both the ordinances for the field house and for the Harry Williams building. And we really do believe that the field house should run just as the Harry Williams building does. I know prior, Jeremy Pucciarelli was the one that did the scheduling for the RY. He was taking money from an organization to rent those fields. We just found this out months ago. This is why this issue has come up. I know Mr. Kapadas in the last meeting made a comment about us not being organized and that he doesn't understand why we needed the clarity. So the meeting we had with him was because he told us the RY can charge what you want to charge. You guys can keep the money and do what you want with it. And then we get this proposal July 29th, which says that we have to follow the ordinance, but the money goes to the recreation, the exact term, but the recreation fund. So at that point, what the board would like is that really we just should be following the ordinance that's already in place. So what we would do going forward, we would just need to, Richie, touch base with you to see when you would need the information by. The RY, Runnemede Girls Softball, and the organizations currently in that building will reach out to you to get scheduling coordinated. And then
You don't want to schedule at all?
no, because the way that proposal came back to, there was so much liability on us. We're a group of parent volunteers. That is not our building. We don't hold insurance.
The way that was written is, that does follow our current ordinance. That's why it was written the way it is. The only people that have to follow the current ordinance are people outside of the RY. The RY is still following our ordinance as is. If you decide to let anyone else use those facilities, that's when they have to go through other processes.
Well, in the ordinance does say, like, even us as the RY, like, we should have to reach out to Richie to get the approval to use it.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's up to us to let you guys run the schedule as well.
Yeah,
It's not just whatever, but if that's how you want to do it now, then we can make those arrangements.
I think we do want to make those arrangements only because Jeremy's not here anymore. He's not part of the RY. We just think if that's how Harry Williams Building, that's how St. Teresa's ones is renting the gym and all that, just makes it easier and takes it.
Organizations are still required to provide us with insurance, they're still required to.
Correct, and yeah, we agree with that. We would have to do that ourselves as well.
There's nothing in there that does not follow our current ordinance.
Well, the ordinance right now, we have not ever, I mean, Richie, right now the RY is doing the schedule. That's not what the ordinance says. The ordinance says that an organization has to reach out to the recreation director. Once it's approved, they have to get the information to the borough clerk. None of the organizations right now do that.
You would only have to do that outside of our clerk if you're allowing somebody else other than you, such as a travel team.
Well, in the other organizations, they aren't affiliated with us, and in that proposal, if they were affiliated with us and something was to happen, the liability is on the RY. The liability was not on the town, and we're not taking liability for a third party.
It said they have to provide you with insurance.
But that's not our building, so that's what we're uncomfortable with. If this is your guys' building, it really, I know Jeremy ran it before, but if this is the borough's building, the borough should be running
You're
it.
required to do that. If you wanted them to go through the borough, that's fine too.
Yeah, and that's what we want to do. It really should go back to.
Not just outside sources, but the RY sources as well.
We would as well. So John will provide you guys our insurance. He will send you guys the schedule. He'll send you the schedule that he has now. He just needs to know what date you would want that by. He can also let all the organizations know that they need to provide their insurance and all that as well. Because again, for years that has not happened. None of that stuff was turned over from Jeremy.
When the outside sources, you know,
But this has been going on for a few months. Why don't we just stop outside sources from using the building until we figure this out? Because this has been like back and forth, you said, we said.
And we really, and there was no issue until we found out.
So what good is it for the town that these outside sources, I don't know who they are, I'm not there.
And,
So why don't we just say the RY and the girls softball field can use the building, and everybody else has to wait until we
they're
figure
the
out
ones
what's
that
going.
schedule the buildings. We don't schedule.
They can
So-
schedule, that's fine, they
No,
schedule the
they're
fields.
saying they don't want to schedule. The outside sources were always scheduled for people that were running the RY or whatever like that. We didn't schedule anybody outside. We hardly schedule anybody.
You know, we're having a lot of issues with
We have people
other
calling, they want to use
individuals.
the fields.
Who?
No, I'm saying outside sources, I
Yeah.
get emails saying they want to use the
And
softball.
having
I mean, the
access to
field is
the-
not an issue. We had that meeting just about the field house, and then we were surprised to get the 5-page proposal. When we had that meeting, we had talked about in the
Once something goes
proposal.
in writing, we have to,
No, I know, it just wasn't what we had discussed at the meeting, so it kind of caught us off guard a little bit. What we had discussed was that you guys said that if, Nick had said if we were gonna, we could charge, the RY would get the money, and then we got the proposal, and that's not what it said. So, but we can be in touch, and we'll put all this in writing and have Nick on it as well. Thank you.
We'll continue work.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name's Steve O'Terra. I live on Hirsch Avenue in London. I have two issues. My first issue, I spoke with Mr. Zampolsky, and he's going to rectify the issue. I have on the corner of my street a dumpster and a spot pot. It's been there for 3 weeks. Do we have an ordinance, Mrs. Kelly? Because you're in charge of safety, are you?
Favor, sir, you just point in their face like
Okay, I'm sorry. Mrs. Kelly, is it you that's in charge of safety? Have you drove around town? Have you seen how many dumpsters are out on the streets? Have you seen how many commercial vehicles are on the street?
Mrs. Kelly doesn't patrol the town.
Well, no, she's public safety. There's no safety here. We're going
There's
back
no
to,
safety in the town?
no, we're going back to school, okay? Back to school with no safety. Dumpster on my corner. Safety, the busiest corner in both school, we now have a dumpster there. We now have a spot pot. On the other busiest street in Runnemede on First Avenue, we had three cars that weren't registered. I go by today, and they're now in his yard.
Mr. O'Terra, remember we did, like I said, can we kick back for a second? Mrs. Kelly is the Director of Public Safety, but I'm the Chief of Police.
Okay.
It's not Mrs. Kelly, hold on, it's not Mrs. Kelly. Me and you, it's me. if me and you already agreed,
Be able to answer that.
me and you agreed, you're gonna come to my office on Thursday, like I have people in my office every day, all day, and I will give you all I have.
Okay, is
All right.
there an ordinance, so I want to know?
With the dumpsters,
With the dumpsters and spotted pots on the,
I know, I'm not 100% sure about dumpsters, but the unregistered cars, if they're in the lot and they're in the property and they're unregistered, that would be code enforcement. On the street is the police department.
like I said, they got
But-
moved in the last 3 days.
All right, so but if you have a problem, I want you to call the police immediately. I tell everybody that for 30 years. Call the police immediately and we'll give you what we have. I'll do, and you know, me and you have a good relationship. You have a problem, you can come to my office or call me 24/7, I'll take your call. But like I said, it's not Mrs. Kelly.
Okay.
She's my boss, but she's not out patrolling the town like Councilman Murray said. It's the chief and the patrol.
Okay, can I get you to agree that those streets that I'm talking about, 3rd Avenue, Orchard Avenue, are a disaster?
I don't know about a disaster, but what we talked about the speeding, like you
The
said.
speed limit needs to be changed around the school.
Okay, I hear you on that one, but what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna talk to Officer Figueroa, the school resource officer.
Okay.
Maybe he puts his truck in a certain spot, turns his lights on, and he stays down with the crossing guards. There's some things that we can attempt to do to
Why
make
can't
this
we just
situation
change the
better.
speed limit going around the school? It's already set one way now. Why can't we just add to it? I mean, in that whole area.
That's a whole process.
Well, I understand that.
But what I can do on my end is stick Officer Figueroa down there, and I
He
have.
can't be in 2 places at one time.
Let him finish. I understand. But to start this situation that you're talking about, I can at least, in the beginning of the school year, to see if it helps it, stick his car in a certain spot with the lights on and have him out there. I know that drop off and all, it's rough. There's not a lot of parking. I know, I've been here 30 years, it's rough. It's rough in every school. I go out and spend times in the children's lot and look around. The parking's tough, it's small, there's a lot of kids, I understand. But for me as the chief of police, I can at least have Officer Figueroa, and I do a lot of stuff, like myself, I'll be out there. So Officer Figueroa, I'll speak to him before school starts, and I'll try to get him into a routine where we can at least address that. I told you I'll address the dumpster tomorrow, even though it's probably code enforcement. I'll figure out who the owner of that house is and say, we gotta get that moved.
Okay.
The unregistered vehicles, I'll speak to code enforcement. You're gonna come see me Thursday, I'm gonna take the address down, and I'm gonna give you what I have from the police department. When you have a problem, you know, me and you talk all the time. You come to me.
It's getting old, okay?
I know, but you haven't told me this yet. Please come to me. I love
The other
handling
issue I
problems.
have, there's no speed limit signs anywhere around any school. Why?
Okay, I can't answer that.
Mr. White, can you answer that question? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, we can take it, for the signs are easy to speed
Well,
limit. We
maybe
can
we
take
need to do
that out.
that, so maybe the parents need to get a piece of paper from the school board or from you saying 25 miles an hour, no faster.
Right,
There's a way of getting around, getting things done without getting some kid hurt.
right.
That's the important part. I've got an 8-year-old grandson and a 4-year-old grandson. And I'm at that school every day. I watch the kids, the adults, fly up Orchard Avenue faster than hell. And someone's going to get killed. Do you need that on your on your borough record? No, we don't. So let's step up to the plate and get something done. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to come up to the microphone and speak? No? Seeing that we have no one else, can we close this public portion of the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, public portion is now closed. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Second? Okay, it is now 6:29 and this meeting is now adjourned.